if we hit this. Tim, do you remember if we hit this when this news broke?
We did not. I don't think we did.
I don't think we did either. I don't know what was going on that day, but I just revisited it and wanted to kind of dive into this real quick. But Easton Butler had put a tweet out. This was some time ago, and I can't see the date. Actually, if I scroll down, maybe March 15th. So this is about 10 days ago. Offensive lineman Esa Pohl was a top 30 visit, or has top 30 visits lined up with the following: Packers, Seahawks, Chiefs. This is the first top 30 pre-draft visit reported for Green Bay. So he was actually the first top 30 pre-draft visit there. So what we did was put together a quick little write-up on him. And this dude, I'm telling you, I fell in love with this cat right off the bat. Listen to this background. This is Esa Pohl, all right? And here's what it says. Blah, blah, blah. We'll just skip through the majority of it. Pohl, who stood out at his pro day at 6'5" 1/4", 323-pound frame, had 0 sacks allowed in 2024, is gaining attention as the Packers look to reinforce their offensive line. And it's a scouting report coming out of high school. Esa Pohl did not play high school football. An unusual path for an NFL prospect, a native of Oakland, California. He spent his teenage years in New Zealand before returning to the U.S. without a traditional recruiting profile. He enrolled at Chabot, I think is how you say that, Chabot Junior College, where his raw athleticism, rooted in rugby and a 6'5" frame, caught attention. Lacking a Rivals rating due to his non-traditional background, Pohl's potential was untapped until he hit the junior college scene, showcasing his size and agility, and hinted at a future in the trenches. The college statistics, post-collegiate or college career unfolded across, how would you say that name, Jacob? Help me out here. Chabot. Chabot?
I'd say that's Chabot Junior College. I think I've heard it called. But
Chabot Junior College. And Washington State. At Chabot, he started 2 seasons at left tackle, though detailed stats are sparse. Transferring to Washington State, he started 21 consecutive games at left tackle in 2024. Per PFF, he played 498 pass blocking snaps, allowing 0 sacks and 9 pressures with an 81.2 pass blocking grade, top 20 among FBS tackles. His run blocking grade of 68.4 was solid, contributing to Washington State's 37-16 upset over Texas Tech in 2024, where he paved lanes for 143 rushing yards. Look at this cat. Tell me you don't want that. Like, seriously, he's most offensive linemen you look at and you go, yeah, they got some fat. That dude looks like he is stout. Measured at 6'5" 1/4", 323 pounds at Washington State's pro day. Pohl boasts a 33 5/8 inch arms and a 7.30 relative athletic score. His standout trait is pass protection, where he uses length and strong anchor to neutralize edge rushers, rarely getting beat clean. 0 sacks in 2040. He's quick off the snap with a wide stance that swallows bull rushes. Though his hand placement can lag, leaving him vulnerable to savvy counters. In the run game, he's a people mover on down blocks, but lacks elite lateral agility with a 5.22 second 40, struggling to reach second-level defenders. Pohl projects as a developmental left tackle or swing tackle with starter upside and a power-based scheme. Injury and character concerns. He has no major injury history on record, starting every game for 2 years at Washington State after 2 healthy seasons at Chabot. His durability is a plus, though his 323-pound frame and rugby background raises minor questions about long-term wear. Character-wise, there's nothing negative to note. He's described as a quiet, hardworking prospect. Training with ex-NFL tight end Lee Smith in Tennessee ahead of the pro day, Pohl's commitment shines through with no off-field issues or team conflicts. So it goes on to say Pohl's draft stock sits in the mid to late rounds, likely 4th to 6th, 0 sacks, 2024 season, and pro day buzz despite no combine invite have him trending towards day 3, with some mocks placing him around picks 120 to 150. Analysts see him as a sleeper, with Bleacher Report ranking him outside of the top 100, but noting his upside. The Packers hosting him for a visit could target him in the 5th round to groom behind Rasheed Walker, though teams like the Bengals or Saints might snag him early for tackle depth. This dude right here might be your next backup left tackle. Remember that name. I don't know. There's something about that, man, with the background, the personality. This
thick.
Backer, man. Seems like a backer. What do y'all think on Esa Pohl? They're late in the draft.
Yeah, apparently it's pronounced Chabot is what I found on the internet.
Got
so
it. I want to say, I don't know if French is the right word, but anytime you see that combination of a B-O-T after a C-H-E, it usually turns into the sheh. So go ahead, though, sir. Appreciate that.
I totally be on board with it. It looks like the Packers have kind of found that little diamond in the rough, and it makes sense that a lot of the other scouts look at a guy that's never played football in high school, that was in New Zealand, it looked like, that never really had a – but I'll tell you what, that wrestling background is about as – I put that on the same echelon as the rugby background. I've known a couple of the craziest dudes I've ever met in my whole life play rugby. Like, I mean, absolute just ankle biter, knee biter, eating nails for breakfast type people. So I think that this guy could fit. He could fit a mold. And imagine if he's like doesn't have the wear and tear of a guy that's really never played left tackle his whole career, but now he's just slipping right into it like it's like a second nature. That's pretty intriguing to me.
Yeah, it really is. And it's one of those get off the bus guys, Emilio. You know what I mean? It's like you want that dude walking off the bus first. He just looks like that's the guy you're going to take into a bar fight with you.
Absolutely. You said he has a wrestling background, so I threw the emoji on there for
rugby, not wrestling.
Oh, Jacob.
Yeah, so
you know what? It's close enough, I think.
Get that
no, but seriously, he dropped 12 spots on PFF Big Board. I think that it's good that you're getting your eyes on someone like that. It's something that you probably wouldn't see elsewise without bringing him in, right? So. That's not bad. -1 RAS, so he was in the 7+.
It's crazy too, man. If this picture right here, and I believe it was, they said that was a pro day pick, I think. If he was 323 pounds, like Dave says here, man, he's jacked. Like you can see the oblique and everything there. Like that dude is, he's gonna be an ass kicker, I think. And Tim, no sacks given up. Like, I mean, when you hear about a player who didn't play high school football, had a rugby background, you think, okay, well, he's got to, he's probably going to be raw. I mean, you go out there and just play for the entire year last year and 0 sacks, stayed healthy. That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. I mean, some people are just naturals. You know what I mean? And we talk about the comparables between, rugby and American football, the game that we love. And I can see why it makes a lot of sense to put him on the line. Looks like another interesting prospect to me. Let's take another tackle and turn him into a guard like we always do, right? But
Tim, you know why he's interesting is I pulled up the 2024 numbers. Pass block grade 85.8, run block grade 57.3.
That's what I'm talking about. And I like what it said in that article too, in the write-up, Clayton, about like in a power scheme, because I feel like I think we're going to see a little bit more power run out of this LaFleur offense this year, at least mixed in a little bit. I know we did a lot of zone run, but I'd like to just see some big boy power run scheme here with Josh Jacobs and, some big dogs like this blocking, it's a great point, Emilio. Like the pass block is one thing. You got to be able to protect Jordan, but it's a whole nother thing if you can move bodies in the run game as well. So and the fact that he didn't play football at all in high school and is, a top 300 prospect and seems to just take to the game pretty naturally, anybody who drafts this guy is going to have a great prospect going forward. He might be a 1 to 3 year developmental project in the NFL, but doesn't mean he's not going to turn out to be an absolute monster. So worth keeping an eye on him.
Two things to that, Tim. Most drafted by Green Bay Packers, 47%. Then it's Chiefs at 12%, San Francisco at 11% based off PFF numbers. And second, we don't need him because we've already got a guy named Travis Glover.
Good Lord.
We don't even need our boy Essapool, all right?
How dare you?
Hey, Tron, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I'm hoping this is the comment. And Jacob, I think you found it. I appreciate that.
Yep, I got it.
Says question, with the way the receivers' reaction to JJ saying we need a proven receiver earlier this year, do you think a round 1 receiver would start a locker room divide? Silly, I'm sure, but who knows? I don't think it's silly to think that could potentially happen. You could tell it pissed Jaden Reed off. He immediately went to Twitter, right? And, Josh Jacobs, I think, is a great teammate. I don't think he was saying anything there, to upset anyone or create division, but it's one of two things are going to happen. Either someone's going to get pissed off and shut it down and be like, well, the heck with that guy, I ain't playing for him. Or they're going to get pissed off and go, oh, I'm going to show him. I think it's the latter. I really do. So I hope this wide receiver core comes out and just shuts everybody up. You know what I'd like to see happen? I'd like to see one of the best receivers fall right in our lap, us draft them, and they not even see the field because our receivers just absolutely balled out. That would be awesome to me because I'm rooting for these dudes, man. Especially Jaden Reed. I just do not understand the hate on him last year. It made no sense whatsoever to me. He gets hurt, the targets go down, and his production was still there. And I'm telling you right now, I have challenged everybody, find the drops for me. I know he dropped passes. Don't take this the wrong way. But there were some of those drops where he's laying out, diving for the ball and this and that. And it's like, I'm sorry, man, not all of those are on him. They're not. And the fact that, like we said, with far fewer targets and the guy still, what was it, 800 and some yards, whatever it was he finished with. He's a spark plug
on 75 targets and 55 receptions.
Yeah. Again, you guys go do the math. Compare him to DK Metcalf. Give him the same amount of targets as DK Metcalf got, and you'll go, damn, DK wasn't that good, was he? Especially if everybody was ready to run Jaden Reed out of town. So.
With a long of 70, catch percentage of a 73%, and yards per target of 11.4.
There you go.